so you can be insanely magnetic right now. Imagine this. You're speaking and people are actually putting their phones down and leaning in to hear what you have to say. How would that feel? What kind of confidence would that boost in you? Where they're leaning in with their body language and their eyes are actually connecting with you. You've captured their attention. Or imagine talking through the lens like I am on video now and knowing that you're connecting with people on the other side. And how? Because they're giving you comments in the video and they're talking to you in real life through DMs and in real life, telling you how much a video meant to them. This is possible today, no matter how shy you feel, no matter how uninteresting you feel. I'm going to share with you in this video 3 ways you can immediately start taking steps toward becoming more magnetic so people are leaning in to listen to you. I was actually a super awkward kid in middle school. When I think back to that person that was scared to talk to people, I weighed more than I do now. I had an awkward haircut, awkward clothes. You get the picture. People made fun of me, and that perpetuated this cycle of me feeling a lack of confidence, me feeling hidden, me wanting to feel invisible. And it wasn't until early high school when I set an intention to change the current. And the 3 things I'm sharing with you in this video actually started then, and I've employed them regularly throughout my adult life since. Because back then, I realized going into high school in 11th and 12th grade, I wanted to be different. So I started doing exercise, I started running, I got cooler clothes, I started to develop friendships, people started to want to hang out with me, and within the matter of 6 months, my life turned around. And I ended up becoming student body president. I was voted best leader. You get the whole thing. This was high school. Cool. Nice to reflect on. But it meant something back then because it changed the tide and set me up going into my adulthood in a way that was much more confident. But if you would have told that awkward young kid back then that he was going to be doing YouTube videos and feel confident and open and vulnerable and sharing stories like this, would have laughed you out of school. But here I am, and I want to share these 3 tips with you because I know that you can be insanely magnetic. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Play up the most interesting parts of you. Now you may be thinking, I don't have that many interesting things. I go to work and I come home and lay on the couch. Or you may be thinking, I have a family and all I do is take care of children. Whatever it is, there are things happening in your life that are connection points that I love to talk about in my business and my content creation. Because when we find these connection points with people that we're talking to, no matter what it is, no matter how boring it seems to you, there's something in your life that's going to directly connect on an emotional and human level with the people you're talking to. And I want you to do a little bit of soul searching to think about what those things could be. I'm going to give you some ideas, but first, let me give you an example of what I learned to do, not as much in the YouTube setting, but when I've been doing a lot of client presentations and working with people in the agency job that I've been doing throughout all of my career. A lot of talking to people and a lot of having to build trust with them. And in the beginning of calls, what I would often do is I would make some quirky joke about me being addicted to movies, for example, which I am. I love seeing movies. I live in Los Angeles, here in Hollywood. It makes sense. It's a fun story. It's simple to understand. People can connect on the most popular movie or the most popular streaming show that they're watching right now, and that's a great way to connect. Or another thing is I love to go to concerts, so I often will bring that up if I feel like someone's interested in music. Or sometimes I will even comment to make a connection point about how, wow, I've become so boring because I've worked so much that I now am struggling to recreate some fun in my life. Well, that's something that seems boring to people, but that transition, that tension that you're creating and you're sharing with someone anecdotally, that creates a human connection. And that's the stuff that makes the connection I'm talking about and makes people lean in to listen to you. You've given them something that resonates with them. So then when they start to hear more of those things from you, you've already built trust pretty quickly because they see you as a human. You've hopefully laughed a little bit and you've made a strong connection with something they can resonate with. So they're interested in what you have to say. You've opened a door. Now here's a cheat sheet that you can reference to look within yourself and think about interesting parts of you that you could play up. Are you interested in sports? Are you interested in music? Are you interested in the theater? Are you interested in food? Do you cook? Do you eat out all of the time? Do you have a family? Are you part of a mom's group or a dad's group? Do you coach? Are you a musician yourself? Are you a photographer? What high school did you go to? What college did you go to? The list goes on. So you can think about these things before you go into your next event where you need to really woo people, and find some talking points so that you can make a genuine human connection. This is going to be groundbreaking for you because this builds trust so quickly. And for the next way to become insanely magnetic, make people feel something when they are around you. Now, this may sound a little weird. We're talking about feeling something in their emotions. We're not talking about feeling something physically. We want to make them feel excited. We want to make them feel a tension of a story you're telling. You want to make them feel about something that made them feel warm, about their past or their future. You want to bring them into a situation where they can see themselves in it. So this plays into Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which I'll put up here on the screen. Now, the hierarchy of needs, a lot of things here are easy to speak to because people can resonate with one or more of these things at any given time. And in a simple form, if you're talking about things in a way that taps these emotions and these needs that people have, whether it's a need for financial security, a need for love and connection, a need to even laugh or something like that to feel connected with people, that is what's going to make people lean into you, because you're going to be able to introduce conversations that bring people into that environment. So let me give you an example. So rather than just meeting people at an event or starting off a video and saying something like, I'm going to tell you the things and here's what it is and you need to pay attention, like I did in the beginning of this video, I connected with you immediately and I said, you can be magnetic even if you don't believe it. So I tapped into your feeling of self-doubt, which we all have, and then I shared an experience of me having self-doubt. So I gave you permission to see that you may have self-doubt in this area, and I've resonated with you. I'm not calling you out for something that I'm not sharing myself. This sequence of events, though it seemed effortless when I was doing it, makes a big difference to make you lean in. And clearly you're still watching this video, so it worked. This works no matter what. This works in casual conversation. This works in the beginning of a video. This works in a presentation that you may need to do live, whatever it is. If you can think about connecting with people on this human level and taking whatever you need to talk about and introducing it in a way that connects with them on a human level and taps some sort of emotion that they have. So it makes them actually get invested about where you're going to go next. What are you going to say next? You've made them think and you've made them listen. This is magic. If you do this, you are going to instantly become more magnetic, and people are going to be talking to you at the networking event in the corner, not the other people. So try this on and let me know how it works in the comments. And for the last way to become insanely magnetic, make people feel seen. Okay, here's the thing, everybody. All we want in life is to be seen and to connect with other people. It's true. That's what we ultimately want. And when we know that going into a conversation and we make sure to set an intention to make people around us feel seen, it feels so good when you do it too, because you see people light up. And there are ways that you can do that I want to share now that are very easy. Let's start with being in a real life event, whether it's a networking event, a party, or some sort of even formal professional setting. Start by asking casual questions. Where are you located if it's on a Zoom meeting? Where did you grow up? How long have you lived here? Whatever they say to offer information, build on that and ask a really interesting follow-up question. So it might be that you ask more about how long have you lived there? Oh my gosh, what do you like about it? Or if you have a connection with the city, draw that connection and share from something about you. It doesn't mean that you can't speak about yourself, but I find that it's best to first start asking them some questions so they feel like you see them, making strong eye contact and actually leaning in to pay attention, not in an awkward way, but in a way in this busy life that we live in now to make them realize that for this moment, we are in sync. I see you and you see me. And then you can start to involve other parts of you in the conversation. What is awesome is when you get going a few minutes into a conversation and you've made some really strong connections by first asking them who they are, something about themselves, and you've built on it by creating some connection, and even in some loose way, of you and how you connect to that. This creates a trust bond very, very quickly. I set this intention every day when I do my morning visualization and manifestation and I get myself centered for the day. I say a bunch of intentions And I say, my intention for today is to make people feel seen and heard, to see people. And just by doing that in the morning, it makes a huge difference. And when this gets to making videos like this, though you're not here on the other side of the camera, I'm pretty much alone here where I'm recording right now, I know what it's like to connect with you in real life or someone like you in real life. And therefore, I'm able to do this one-way communication where I'm triggering things that are making you feel seen by saying things that I think you're going to be interested in, painting a picture of what I think you might be struggling with. And this leads to my very convenient request. Get in the comments below and make this a two-way dialogue, because I love the comments. So let me know in the comments how this is feeling, how it's landing, if this is resonating, which of the three stand out most for you? Which one are you going to try right now? Let me know in the comments. So I know these things are going to instantly make you more insanely magnetic, but there's one more way that you can dig more deeply right now to learn more about how you can speak with confidence, ways that you can use your words to sound extremely confident. So I want you to jump over to this video and hear more about my thoughts there and build on what you've already learned here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you over in the next one. Later.